talking pickleball today. Pickleball Therapy Live. I can't find us on Facebook. I can now find us on Facebook.
I got
Hi,
us on
everyone.
YouTube.
You got us on YouTube?
What's happening, people?
We have so many. We have a few good things coming your way today. We've been hearing how people are, believe it or not, there are some people, and I've been one of them, that was not having as much fun playing pickleball as they used to. So if you can relate, you want to hear what we have to say. And then we are going to be talking about beginner mistakes. So if you're a beginner or you are maybe newer to the game, you want to definitely stay tuned. And then we're going to talk about the ready position. You know, the ready position gets blamed for a lot of stuff that it probably shouldn't get blamed for. But anyway, I'm CJ Johnson, and I am one half of VI Pickleball, and I'm from the YouTube channel Better Pickleball. And
I'm eating popcorn.
the gentleman eating is it good? Is it buttered popcorn? Or not really?
Huh?
Is it buttered popcorn?
No.
Butter.
It's a real deal. This is like bulk popcorn, not bag popcorn.
Okay. So
this is the kind of popcorn that sometimes has weevils in it. If you don't pop it soon enough, it'll grow. It has weevil stuff in it. This is a real deal.
So you pop it off the cob? Is that how you do it? You ever done that?
Don't go crazy now.
Oh, that's phenomenal. All right. We're not. We are. You can get those at farmers markets this time of year. But so we're not talking pickleball, or we're not talking popcorn. We do want to be talking pickleball. And the gentleman who's eating the popcorn, is my partner Tony Roig from Into Pickle, and the other half of VI Pickleball. Welcome, everybody. If you are on Facebook,
is it VI Pickleball? I thought it was We Are Pickleball.
Well, we're moving to We Are Pickleball. We haven't changed all of our.
Oh, that's not official yet. Okay.
Well, it is official. We just haven't changed all our logo stuff yet. It's still the VI. Wow. We're trying to be done confusing people, so don't confuse me either. But that's what that's what we are talking about today. If you have some questions, we're happy to answer some questions as well. So hello to everybody who's joined us on Facebook. And Tony, you're watching YouTube. You've got YouTube, correct?
Always. That's what I'm just watching YouTube videos right now.
So I do have to tell you that, and I've never told you this. You don't know that. Okay, so because we're partners, we both have access to each other's YouTube channels, to all the analytics. So he can log in as me, I can log in as him. It helps us to work together and helps our videos. But YouTube has an algorithm that feeds the user on your homepage. It feeds you more videos of what you were recently watching. So it's kind of funny because I log into Tony's page, and I think I log into the back end probably more often than you do. So I can always tell when Tony's watching something new because YouTube's putting it up on the homepage. So I can tell the kind of pickleball videos you've been looking. I can tell some of the farming videos that so yeah. Probably more than you wanted to know.
It was fascinating this week watching the PPA Championship. You and I talked about it a little bit, but I got to watch, Jill and I got to watch some of those matches on Sunday. We had some stuff to do around the house, but we put them on the YouTube, on the TV, and it was interesting to see. You had Jesse Irvine and Jay Devilliers come back from 2 games down against the Newmans. We were surprised to see that. Not surprised that, Jay and Jesse are excellent players. Not surprised that they came back. Just, we'd seen it. It looked like a tough match. Down 2 games. We turned away, did other stuff, whatever. Came back. We're like, what? And the other match that was interesting from a strategic standpoint was Waters against Parenteau and Irvine. Just to watch the formations. You and I have talked about that, CJ, where you have the formations. Whether you play on the left or play on the right, particularly at the pro level, so important. And we saw some of their popcorn. We saw some areas there that we thought could have been done maybe a little differently in them, perhaps a little bit.
I think as well that you mentioned it, which is interesting. I think the men's doubles, I'm pretty sure that Tyson and I got a good memory,
Riley?
but it's short. I'm pretty sure that Tyson and Riley forced 5 sets. Didn't it?
Yeah,
I think it went
they came
5
back,
games.
But they didn't finish it.
Yeah, they didn't
and
finish
it was like,
it. But
the
it
last
was
game was
they were
like
2 games
11-8
down.
or 11-9.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, but they forced 5 games. So,
they
yeah.
did.
Okay. All right. But we're going to talk. We got a couple other things to talk about. What you want to start with? You want to start with the ready position or the YouTube video that's blowing it up? Oh my goodness. What is going on with that video?
I'll
Okay.
talk about the video first. I'll eat some popcorn and then I'll talk about the. I'd rather talk about the. Let's talk about making pickleball fun again. Talk about the video and talk about making pickleball fun again.
Okay, so we're going to talk about those two things first. All right. So let's talk
Yeah.
about let's talk about the video that is blowing it up. Tony was here, as many of you know. Tony was here for some camps back in September. Speaking of camps, by the way, we got a couple spots open in our camps in Florida. And so if you do want some information on those, go to wearepickleball.com/camps. A couple spots open in the women's and a couple spots open in the weekend. The 11th through the 13th is already sold out.
Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna tell you guys, Florida's gonna be sold out by the time you make a decision. If you want to come to camp, we got 4 spots left in Folsom, right?
We do
And
have
that's like
4
right
spots.
now.
Yeah.
So if you're in California, you want to come seriously learn. We cover all the 3 pillars. You get a lot of good information. You'll leave as a different player, and we guarantee it. You know, if you don't like your camp experience, we'll refund your camp fee. So that's how confident we are about our camp. So at Folsom Camp, we got 4 spots left right now. So.
And I got to tell you, the first time I heard Tony say we're going to do a money back guarantee on the camps, I went, what? And then I stopped and I thought about it. And I thought, everything I've seen and what I've seen players do and what they've told us, I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't we?
Well, and we stand behind everything, right? I mean, if we put our name on it, we'll back it. So.
Exactly. But so anyway, I digress. Or we digress. We were talking about the video that we shot when Tony was here. And I will tell you this. So literally, this is how this video came to be. Tony came downstairs and he said, we're shooting 2 videos and here's what they are. And he bullet pointed these videos that we were shooting. And we went out to the courts and we started going back and forth and talking about these. And the 7 things that we talked about are just things, one you hear a little bit about. It does involve the non-volley zone. So one you hear a little bit about. But the other 6, you just don't hear touched on in common circles. I mean, so I'll give one away. We talk about running around the shot and what happens. And Tony gives a great example of what happens when you try and run around your backhand to hit your forehand. Great example. You see physically exactly what happens. So if you haven't had a chance yet, go over to YouTube. That video is on Better Pickleball. And it is called 7 Beginner Mistakes. It's the latest
If you're on
video.
YouTube, it's on this channel right here. Just click on this channel, subscribe. It'll be on this channel.
And if you're not, that's where you should go. But it's called 7 Beginner Mistakes. So go over there because I have to tell you, it's up over, like I said, I think it's up over 16,000 views, which means it's resonating and people are really watching it. So I think it's happening often. Those mistakes are happening on the court. And hey, out of 7 of them, I'm going to guess that you can find one that maybe you're doing, even if you're not a beginner any longer. So that's the first thing.
That's interesting, right? We talk about that all the time. We're like, this idea of like beginner, intermediate, advanced. I mean, it's fine. I mean, everybody wants to feel better along a scale and all that stuff. That's fine. But like when you think about pickleball, it's just basics, like over and over and over and over and over again, right? So, whether we're talking to a 2-5 or a pro player, actually, you mentioned running around. Watch the pro matches. You'll see players do that sometimes. They run around and they get in trouble, but they don't do it as often. I mean, so it's not as common, but you still see even the pros do it, So you can learn, we can all learn no matter where we are. These principles apply whether you're a 2-5, a 4-0, a 4-5, or a pro. All the same principles apply.
And Tony makes a good point. It happens in my game. I won't speak for Tony, but it happens in my game, and where we start to do some things that maybe we're not even aware that we're doing. Doesn't even dawn on us that we're doing it. And to have somebody else say, "Do you realize that X is happening inside of your in your game?" That it can creep in. It can
Is
creep
this
in.
distracting you, CJ? It appears to be distracting you.
No, I'd like to have some popcorn. It's
Can
not
you hear
just
it? Because it's super loud in my ear, but you can't hear it, right?
I can't hear it. But we already talked about my hearing.
That's true. My bad.
I can't hear
Right, if you can hear it on Facebook or YouTube, send us a comment. Let us know.
it.
CJ, you want to talk about making the game fun again?
I do want to talk about making the game fun again. You
All
want
right.
to
So
start? You want me to start?
go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. We've had, we've had a lot of people. I told a little bit of this story last week. So why don't you maybe you can get your mouth clear and then you can tell your portion of this story. We've been having a lot of people talk to us about how pickleball hasn't been fun for them recently. And it's a variety of different reasons have come up. What's important is that you find the reason that perhaps it's not fun for you. And I shared my story. I'm going to share it quickly again. You can see the slightly longer version over on TikTok. If you're over on TikTok, at We Are Pickleball on TikTok. We're Pickleball Talk, and We Are Pickleball over there. But for me, pickleball hadn't been fun for a while, for about the last year and a half, and I really couldn't figure out why. And I knew I was struggling a little bit. I was struggling physically. I've been struggling with some back issues and was not playing real well. And Tony came to town, and I asked Tony if he would, look at my stroke, and that I heard. Look at my stroke and help me. And so part of what we did when he was here is we worked together, and I left with some very clear-cut things that Tony asked me to do, some changes he asked me to make. And about a week later, so I went out, I'm practicing, and I find all of a sudden I find myself practicing more. And right before we got this big storm, I was out practicing, and literally nobody was at the courts. It was such an amazing night. It was so beautiful. I hated to leave. And as I sat down, I am smiling. I have had such a good time. I felt content. And I have to tell you, I have not felt that way on the pickleball court in a long time. I just had fun. And I sat down and I said, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? Because I'm glad I'm feeling this way, but it's really different. For me, what it was, as an athlete, I have never coached myself. I am blind where my shortcomings are in every sport. Doesn't matter if it's skiing, golf, or pickleball. I am totally blind to my shortcomings. And I don't coach myself in those other sports. But here I was coaching myself in pickleball. And my mind was getting so bogged down searching for the answer. What's going on? What's happening? Is it here? Is it there? Is it here? Is it there? I'm bouncing back and forth on a variety of different things, but I just wasn't having any fun anymore. And for me, I needed to give up that kind of control. And the minute I did, my mind was free. I can execute, and I'm having fun again on the court. Now, that's my reason. I'm not suggesting that that might be yours, but I think what you have to do is you have to find out what's your reason. And we had another story, Tony, that that happened coincidentally right about that same time with someone that you know.
Yeah, and it actually made me think about my own journey a little bit about like what happens. I think is you can have these expectations kind of creep in. CJ, before I go on to that, I know that we have a piece on this. Is that somewhere that people can go to yet, or is that not yet?
Not yet.
So what they can do is, if you want to get this, go to wearepickleball.com, register for like the emails, and then you'll be notified because we have it's pretty long, and hopefully the idea of it is to basically help you work through different internal or external obstacles that might be interfering with your enjoyment of this beautiful sport, right? And it's a shame. It's a shame for players to lose. Everything loses luster after a little bit of time. Sort of like you get you get your brand new iPhone. This is iPhone 7, so I don't know how old it is, but you get the brand new phone and it's all shiny and it's all exciting, and then you drop it and you get this first kink and the first thing, and then eventually it's just a phone. You just you don't even think about it, and that can happen with a lot of things in life. And I think pickleball is no different in the sense that you first start playing pickleball and it's new and exciting. You're meeting all these people and it's like all that, right? Now I think pickleball to me is different than phone because pickleball. I mean, we all need phones, but pickleball is like one of these lifetime things, lifetime gifts, in terms of exercise, social, the mental part of the game. I think because it really helps your mind, so you don't get lazy up in here, especially if you're older. But one of the things that can happen is these expectations creep into your game, and we're going to address this more on the podcast on Friday as well. But think about it like this: like when you first started playing, you're like a kid again, right? You're like it's a new thing. You don't expect to win, right? You're just out there like whatever happens, happens. You don't even, you don't even know what the score is. You don't even call the score. You're just having fun, hit the ball. And then a couple years go by, or a year goes by, or something, and then someone suddenly says, hey, you've gotten really good, or you start winning some games and stuff like that. All of a sudden, next time you go out to play, now you're like, wait, last time I won, 7 games. This time I won 2 games. And so these expectations creep into your mind, and I think what we suggest is maybe reframing it a little bit, right? So think about really, did you when you signed up to play pickleball, or when you started playing pickleball, is it a W and an L proposition for you? Is that all that matters? Win and loss, that's it? Or did you sign up to play pickleball because you were looking for an activity? You were looking to meet people. You were looking to get out of the house. You were looking for exercise, right? I would suggest you, as long as it's giving you that still, right? As long as you're getting out of the house, you're getting exercise, you're meeting people, all that kind of stuff. Are you getting what you bargained for? I think yes. So if you maybe reframe your expectations, maybe that's one way to do it. So, but definitely, sign up for the email, because we'll notify you when we post it. And we've been working on a lot of materials like this. We have that one today. CJ and I were working on ways to improve your game. Giving you like a kind of a roadmap. Like what kinds of things can you do to improve your game? Like what should you do if you want to improve this? What should you do if you want to improve that? Should you take lessons? Should you go to camps? Should you study videos? Should you work on the wall? Whatever. So we have a lot of those materials that are coming out, and if you're on an email list, you'll know about it. I think.
Well, absolutely, because the plan is that they're probably both going to get published this weekend. And by the way, we have a brand new quiz, pickleball quiz.
Oh yeah.
We have a quiz on the website. So if you go to wearepickleball.com and right on the very front page, you're going to see that. You're going to see that pickleball quiz. And the best part about taking the quiz is we're going to give you some free resources to help you, where you're at, improve your pickleball. Because that's what it's all about. And improve your pickleball doesn't necessarily mean win more games. It may for some of you, right? For some of you, that might be what it's all about. We think that's a challenging metric for a lot of reasons. But in general, to have more fun, to enjoy yourself more on the court. Those are the resources that we like to share the most. So go there, sign up, and we'll have some more stuff coming your way this weekend.
That's what it's all about, CJ.
I'm telling you.
Enjoyment on the pickleball court.
It is. So I'm just checking to see if we have any questions that.
My side's very quiet.
I
have my people. My people are under control. They know not to ask me questions because they know I'm not going to answer them. So I got my YouTubers. Good job out there. Actually, this way. Good job out there. Not asking questions.
I have to tell you,
because we ask questions.
We got. Hey, Pam. We haven't seen you in a while, Pam. How you doing?
What's up, Pam?
Pam Graves. But I did want to say that this comes from BLB. He said, "You guys have been a great resource, and your mentoring has been invaluable this last year. Thanks." Aw.
What's up, B&B?
Yeah, he's one of our. Barry is one of our VI Pickleball members. We actually have a webinar coming up in about 45 minutes, and this is gonna be a super fun one. Can I just say what we're gonna do tonight?
Yeah, of course.
Because one of the things that we do in our webinars, we do game breakdowns. So much instruction focuses solely on hitting the ball, right? Do this, get this, right? And we talk about the 3 pillars of pickleball. So yes, there's a how to hit a ball, but there's also an athletic pillar, which is like your mind and your body. And then the one that's in the middle is the strategic. And the strategic pillar just doesn't always get a lot of love. But we give it a lot of love inside We Are Pickleball, because it's great to know how to do it. But if you don't know when to use that shot or why you're using that shot, you're probably not going to get the kind of results you want. So we do these
games. It's not even just results, right? It's like, I mean, no criticism to anybody, but like, don't you want to know how the game is played? I don't know, I'm just like, we play this thing, right? We go out on this court, and it's like, don't we want to kind of like, I don't know, if we're playing like Monopoly, don't we want to kind of read the rules of Monopoly before we start rolling the dice and moving pieces around, not knowing what's what, So that second pillar, I find that that's the hardest. I think not hardest in the sense that it's difficult, but it's the one that I think is the most efficient. Deficient. I would say for pickleball players out there is
Mm-hmm.
understanding, like, and what's beautiful is once you understand the framework of this game, then you can craft a strategy, right, that works for you. You know, that works for your skill set, where you're at in life, the shots that you do best, you know, whatever. So you can craft a strategy, understanding the pros and cons of it, and I just think it's such a fascinating. Sorry, CJ, I interrupted your train of thought,
Well,
but I'm like,
no, I'm not, and you can interrupt me all you want because I'm going to tell them what we're doing tonight. But I will tell you, we spend a lot of time on these game breakdowns because they are so important, and we're all gifted and we're all good at a lot of things. Um, the gentleman on the other side of this screen, like looking at strategies, is his jam. I'm just, I mean, there are just times he'll say, "Did you see this?" And I'll be like, "I do now."
and CJ,
No, I,
that's what
I
keeps
was
me, but
looking
that's
at
what keeps me
this.
coming back. But that's what keeps me coming back. Like, we were talking about it on the singles, on the PPA singles, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
we have, normally these days it's been Ben Johns against Tyson McGuffin. That's the pinnacle, right? And that's been a cat and mouse type of game, right? If you watch any of the singles, it's basically like dinking. So it's dinking, dinking in singles, dinking, dinking, moving the ball around. So this finals is Tyson McGuffin against Zane Navratil. So Zane Navratil doesn't decide. He changes the strategy. He says, you know what, Tyson, I'm not going to play the game that you're good at. I'm going to just hit passing shots. I'm going to drive the ball in singles again. I'm going to drive the ball and move the ball around and put pressure on you and try and win that way. And you know what? 3 games and to 0. He wins, right? And that's one of the, again, watching the Waters, how the Waters play, and watching how Simone and Lucy have countered the Waters, even though they're injured this last round. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of this game. And these game breakdowns, I tell you, I think they're the funnest. So at tonight's webinar, if you're a VI Pickleball member and you're watching this and you weren't planning on coming, I highly recommend you come. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Because do you know whose game we're going to break down tonight?
He's all right. He's all right. He can hit a ball here and there. You'll see.
We're gonna break down Tony's one of
He moves a
Tony's
little
games.
weird, but he can put the ball down.
We're gonna break down one of Tony's games from the Hilton Head APP tournament, and so we're pretty excited to have that footage. And I also think that there's something highly. It shows you how coachable a person is, that they're willing to put themselves out there and say, "Here's where my mistakes are," because we
I
all
don't make
make
any mistakes though. Not in that game. No mistakes. 0. Big 0
Okay,
mistake.
all
I
right.
didn't miss 2 returns. I didn't miss 2 returns of serve in the first game.
I was gonna
That was
say that
somebody else.
that wasn't what you told me when we talked.
That was somebody else. That wasn't me.
Okay, I was going to say that wasn't what you told me when we talked, but so I'm looking forward. I am looking forward to seeing the game in full because I haven't seen it either. I've only heard your interpretation of your play, your verbal interpretation. That's it.
I haven't watched a match either myself.
And one still photo. That's what I've seen is one still photo.
Be a hero. CJ, you ready for a ready position?
Yeah. So yes, ready position. Talk to me.
So this weekend's video is going to cover ready position. We're going to give you like all the different bah. You're going to have the bah. You're going to have the bah. And you're going to have like the Callie Smith bah, ready position on the forehand side, right? We're going to talk about all the ready positions. And we're going to talk about what it means to be ready, not ready. We're not going to do that in this video, but I like what CJ said earlier, which is being ready is really important, right? You want to be focused and ready and involved and in the moment doing your thing, right? But the ready position or not being in ready position is not why you lost that slam.
Yeah.
So, if the ball's being slammed at you, have your paddle ready, get ready to roll. That is not why that point was lost. Or rally was lost. So
Yeah,
check it out this weekend.
At some point in time, we're going to be talking about that too. So
yeah, we will.
I got to tell you, so I don't have any questions. I got to tell you guys, we got so much content coming your way. Tony and I have probably had almost enough of each other today because we spent 4.5 hours. It was about 11 o'clock by the time we got off. We spent 4.5 hours mapping out the rest of this year as well as 2022. And we just have some killer exciting content coming your way. So make sure that you're one of the first to know by going over to wearepickleball.com, take the pickleball quiz, and we'll send you an email every Saturday that tells you what's up and gives you some of the resources that you need to improve your game, play better. I have to tell you, Pam said, and this is what she told us. Pam said, "Thank you for keeping the faith. I'm starting to have fun again too."
Nice.
So thank you, Pam.
And check out the article, Pam, when it comes out, and tell us what you think about it. And don't forget, on every Friday we drop our Pickleball Therapy podcast. There's Pickleball Therapy Live. We have Pickleball Therapy podcast. Not starting every Friday morning. We drop a new episode, so check that out. And we highly recommend listening to it when you're heading to play. If you have a drive, 10, 15 minutes. The podcast is usually about that amount of time. Kind of reframe your mind a little bit, maybe get a laugh on the way to the courts, hopefully, and just kind of reframe what you're doing out there. 2 questions on my end that I'll handle, CJ. So Karen wants to know, will VI Pickleball be open anytime soon? Yes, we're planning on opening in about a month and change. So be on the lookout for notices about that, and we'll reopen that up. And then Meredith wanted to know that today's time, Pacific time, is at 4 o'clock Meredith Pacific, so in about 35 minutes. And then if you go in the VI Pickleball community, there's the link in the calendar. You can link to the room, to the Zoom room. So, and then there'll be a replay posted in a couple of days, but it won't be as fun as being there live. Live, we're going to go crazy. You can ask questions. If I say something that you're like, what's this guy talking about? Which won't happen, but it might happen. So, anyway.
Sometimes I say, what's this guy talking about?
No, but...
All right. Okay, so we got lots of stuff coming your way, and we will be back next week. We're not sure. It might be back on Thursday, but that's a good way to find out, is if you want to know when we'll be live on YouTube and or Facebook. Maybe next week sometime. For sure next week we'll be live.
Just connect with us, folks. We love you. You love us. Everybody's happy. Let's connect. Let's do this.
All right. Okay. Until then, members, we'll see you on the webinar in about a half hour. All right. Bye, everybody. Have fun on the pickleball courts. And if you're not having fun, find out why.